Hello my beautiful friends, what is up? How are you? Welcome back to another video. If you've been here before, it's so nice to see you again. If you haven't been here before, hey, what's up? My name's Steph. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us today. So today we're going to talk about something that I haven't talked about yet, and I feel like it's time. I feel like it is time to talk about my greatest manifestation ever. And this one might be a little bit emotional, so just strap in, grab a snack, all the fun things, and let's just jump right on in. If you don't know, I have cerebral palsy, and it is something that has granted me so many lessons. I've been diagnosed since I was 2, and I'm 22 now, so it's been 20 years, which is crazy. It makes me feel super old, but like, let's just ignore that part. So if you don't know what cerebral palsy is, it's basically a neurological disorder that affects certain lobes of the brain and affects your muscular function. So it really depends on the circumstance, and case by case is definitely so different. What I have is spastic diplegic cerebral palsy, so it mostly affects my legs, and my muscles tighten and they don't relax themselves. So I need to do lots of exercising, lots of stretching to make sure that I can live my quality of life to the highest level possible. So it's a great thing that I have experienced because it's taught me so much, and I used to be so ashamed of the fact that this is part of my life story, but now reflecting back on it as like a 22-year-old woman who is so blessed with the life that I have, it is currently my greatest manifestation. And let's just jump right on into why. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the law of assumption, how that's shown up in my life, how that's worked for me. So before we jump into the story of my greatest manifestation, let's talk about law of assumption very briefly. So what is the law of assumption? It is a teaching by Neville Goddard that what you assume to be true is true, and why your emotions are so important when you're creating and manifesting, because if you assume the emotion of already having your desire, then what you assume to be true is true. So it just comes to you that much easier. Basically, why your emotions are so important is if you can assume the emotion of what you already have being manifested into your life, what you assume to be true is true. And that's why the law of assumption works so well even over the law of attraction, because if you're just focused on assuming this reality and assuming that this is true for you, then it will be true, because what you assume to be true is true always. Let's just jump on into my backstory. So when I got diagnosed with cerebral palsy, I was 2. I was told I was never gonna walk. They told my dad to get a good stroller. Like, I was just gonna be wheelchair bound forever. Like, just give up now. Like, don't even fight for her. And luckily, my dad is very stubborn, and he was like, absolutely not. We will do whatever we need to do to get her to live the greatest quality of life that she can, whatever that looks like for her. Like, she can live life independently, be happy. And he like took this as his mindset, and he was like, I will do whatever it takes to get her to health. And that is what he saw for me. And so throughout the years, we went through so much work to get me to this point. And I'm not gonna say that this manifestation came without effort, because not only was it my dad's undying belief in the fact of like, I could make this happen for myself, but it was also like the strength that I came into this world with. So I had around 27-ish procedures throughout my childhood to get me to a place where I could walk properly. I used to walk with my feet completely inwards. So just like kind of getting me to a place where I could live my own life as independently as possible, whatever that meant for me and whatever the outcome was. So I went through my childhood going through all these surgeries and really learning how to walk again and again and again and again. And the thing about this was, you can look at the story and be like, wow, she's so brave, she's so strong, she's this, that, and the other thing, and I won't diminish the things I've gone through. It did take strength to get to where I am today, and I'm very grateful for the miracles I've been blessed with, of course. But at the end of the day, that was all I ever knew. Like, it was my knowledge that I was going to get through this, and I was going to go through all these motions, and I was going to get better. because that is what my dad had believed for me. That is what he passed to me. That is what my family believed for me. So their assumption of my health is what brought my health to fruition. And so those first 12 years after my diagnosis and having all of these procedures and going through all these surgeries and learning to walk again and again and again, but always having this undying knowledge that I was healthy. I am healthy. I can walk. I am blessed. This is a miracle. The fact that I get to live this life the way I do, and the fact that I have been so blessed with the miracles in my life to bring me to this point, it is something that I'll never take for granted, and I won't place solely on the fact of like, this is my manifestation. No, it started as my dad's manifestation, and even without their knowledge, they were creating this future for me. And they were so headstrong in the fact, like, I will be healthy. And so when we talk about the law of assumption and the law of attraction and the laws of the universe and how they are literally laws that are always working, and my family never changed their belief in the fact that I would be healthy, you know? And I never take for granted the fact of, like, how their strength changed the trajectory of my future. And of course, I put in the work as well. It was my body going through this. It was me learning to heal. It was me learning my strength and my determination and all this stuff, you know? Like, my courage came from me. But at the end of the day, I used to be so ashamed of my past and this diagnosis and that I had struggled with for so long. I used to be so ashamed because I just wanted to be normal, you know what I mean? And looking back on it now, like, that is my greatest manifestation. That is what brought me so much strength and so much determination, and that is what shaped me into the person I am. That is what taught me that literally anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And that's why when people are like, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work for me, the law of assumption doesn't work for me, I'm like, it's always working. It's just what you're paying attention to. I think that sometimes we look at the things we've gone through and we look at them as kind of burdens or things we don't want to talk about, but my cerebral palsy diagnosis is what brought my knowledge of spirituality and my knowledge of, like, anything is possible, and my knowledge to always want more, and to know that there's always more for me if I want it, and to know that I can achieve anything if that's what I want. Like, knowing that regardless of anything that I think is too big or too small, I've proved to myself that anything is possible. And I think that that is what brings me back to spirituality and creating your reality, is because I learned the greatest lessons about myself in that journey of getting healthy. Was it a long one? Yes. Was it hard? Yes. Did I want to give up at points? Yes. Was I ever allowed to? Was I ever allowed to assume anything different than my strength and my health? Absolutely not. They're like, Steph, you just gotta do it. This is just our life. This is just how it's gonna go. This is just how you're gonna get better. You just have to go for it. That journey is what has turned me into the woman I am today. That has made me so brave and powerful in using my voice and accepting that, like, if I want something, I can have that something. If I set my mind to it, I can achieve it. And if I assume it to be true, it will be true for me. What I will say is the law of assumption is always working for you. And even if you don't have a family of people behind you assuming your future as healthy and prosperous and abundant and capable and independent, you can do that for yourself. And I don't want to sit here and say that all the things I've gone through are anything less than a miracle, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to walk and to be able to speak for myself and to be able to bathe myself. All the things that I was told that I wouldn't be able to do, the fact that I can drive, the fact that I can go out and dance with my friends, you know, it's something that I'll never ever take for granted. And I'm very aware of the beauty and the strength in these miracles that I've been blessed with. And I want to remind you that even though I'm very special and I'm a divine being living a temporary human experience, so are you. And you are so special. But you don't need a big miracle story to get you there. You can see how special you are in every moment. You can see that you will be and do and have everything you set your mind to. It is your assumption of the things that you want and how you see them and how you see yourself, that is going to bring you to that outcome, whether it be the outcome you want or whether it be the outcome you don't want. These laws are literally laws that are always working for you or against you. It depends on how you're using them. So remember that they're always here and they're always tools for you to move forward to the next stage of your life, and you deserve everything that you could ever possibly want. And there's nothing about you that is hindering you from having that life, because it is all about how you assume yourself and how you assume your current reality. And I assume the fact that you're awesome and that you can have anything you want. And you're allowed to think that about yourself too. You don't need to stay stagnant and stuck in these shackles, because if I did, my life would look completely different. And although it didn't start with me, it ends with me. So I hope that that inspired you and brought you some clarity and joy on this journey. The law of assumption is an incredible tool. It is one of my favorite tools on my spiritual journey that I've learned so far, and I've been using it when I didn't even know I was using it, and my dad was using it, my family was using it when we didn't even know it was a thing. So it is always working for you, and trust that you are a badass creator and you can literally have anything you want. So I will see you guys next week, and thank you so much for hanging out. If you want to join our ever-growing family here, I would love to have you. I would love to see you again. If this was our first and last time seeing you, I hope that I brought some joy and peace into your day today, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. Happy healing, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you so much, and remember that you are capable of literally anything, and yeah, go kick ass, because you deserve it. Bye guys.